Hi, everybody. This is going to be a delicious talk. Yes, it is, because you might be surprised at some of this delicious Scottish fare. My name is Elizabeth Gay, or Beth Gay Freeman, or Hey You, doesn't matter. The French connection, known as the Auld Alliance, gave Scotland some of her cuisine 5 centuries ago. Today, Scotland exports her smoked salmon and trout, her soups and preserves to many nations, France amongst them. Other Scottish specialties enthusiastically acknowledged in the far corners of the earth include porridge, shortbread, kippers, and marmalades. Scotland has always been able to feed her population and hold her own at international trade fairs and agricultural shows. For instance, a southern Italian farmer may have never heard of Glasgow, but will be familiar with the island of Arran as home of the very best seed potatoes. Cattle show judges from Melbourne to Buenos Aires must wrap their tongues around Aberdeen Angus, for that spells the supreme beef cattle bred from a strain developed in a few square miles of eastern Scotland. Saltwater fish, cod, haddock, herring, and mackerel is of the highest quality, and inshore waters are rich in scampi, lobster, crabs, and scallops. In the Western Isles, scallops and bacon fried is the fisherman's breakfast. There is game, chiefly pheasant, partridge, grouse, and venison, and all of these can be found on the menus of the most conservative restaurants. Canned game and soups are also exported. In our times, you will meet some of Europe's most imaginative and highly paid chefs in the unlikeliest of places in Scotland. If you're on a bed and breakfast tour, your hostess may offer raspberries from the garden, and even the breakfast marmalade is probably homemade. The traditional Scottish high tea is a useful meal if you have a busy evening planned. It's a substantial early evening meal of one hot dish, perhaps those fishy favorites, smokies and Finian Hatties, plus a selection of oatcakes, bannocks, pancakes, and scones, which led to Scotland being known as the Land o' Cakes. Strong tea always washed down a meal. It's sometimes forgotten that the first shippers of port and sherry into northern Europe were the Scots. Their names, such as Cockburn, are still printed on the best labels. Among the professionals in Scotland, claret drinking is an old tradition, the French connection again. Old favorites such as cockaliki soup have been revived, and chefs in Scotland have been sparked on to recreate the more ambitious game. Pâtés, steaks, oyster pies, escallops of venison, desserts of soft fruits, cream, and whiskey liqueur. We'll be back again with more on this yummy goodies from Scotland.